And welcome to tonight's crucial game between Burnley and Manchester City. The teams are already out on the pitch, and before the action we're going to bring you the two 11s that are going to take on each other tonight. Burnley second from bottom, of course. Line up as follows: Tom Heaton in goal, and predictably the line up 4-4-2, of course. So Tom Heaton in goal for them. A back four of Trippier, Duff, Shackle and me. A back four that really picks itself at the moment. As for the midfield quartet, well, it's George Boyd, David Jones, Scott Arfield and Ashley Barnes playing out on the left-hand side. And it's the terrible twosome up front, more or less reunited now for the rest of the season. Sam Vokes and Danny Ings, who scored 47 goals between them last season. Now for the champions, who line up as follows: Joe Hart is in goal, a back four with Pablo Zapaneta, Vincent Company, Martin Jimbakelis and Gael Clichet. They're the back four for City this evening. A midfield four of Navas, Jesus Navas, Yaya Toure, Fernandinho and David Silva. And the attackers are Edin Dzeko and Sergio Aguero. So a very good side there. 4-4-2 again. They're going to match Burnley. Substitutes for Burnley: Jilks, Joaquin, Reed, Wallace, Kitely and Jukovic. For City: Caballero, Sagna, Magala, Lampard, Nasri, Jopetic and new signing Wilfred Bonney. So this game at Turf Moor is a crucial one, not just for Manchester City, who are battling for the title, but a big one for the Clarets too, who are trying to win this game so they can avoid relegation back to the Championship. It's going to be a real humdinger. The players are just shaking hands as the actual footage cuts to a commercial, but a real atmosphere here at Turf Moor, and I cannot wait for this game. I really cannot. It's going to be really, really good, and I'm hoping and praying that we have a really good fixture here for both Manchester City and Burnley. It's going to have a real atmosphere to it. Turf Moor boisterous as ever, and they're just about to kick off. As for Manchester City, they have their skipper, the man that they make them tick. There he is, Vincent Company. Well, I can see him anyway. But and on the other side of the coin, what a remarkable transformation! Sam Vokes getting his first start since coming back from that injury he sustained in the Championship match last season against Leicester. So we're all set to go then at Turf Moor. This game really important. Manchester City in the change strip of all dark blue. It's a darkish type of blue. And they get the game underway, and they're going to attack the Jimmy McElroy end in the first half. So it looks as if Burnley have won the toss for ends. They're going to attack the McElroy end in the second half, and they like to do that a lot of the time here in experiences. Steve Kalis gets his first touch, plays it across to Vincent Company. In return, touches it back for England and Manchester City's number one, Joe Hart, and he gets that away. Headed back by Shackle over the halfway line. Now Jones competes with it, gets it back to Ben Mee, who stamped it forward. And a chance here for Danny Ings now. Ings on the turn. Dave McKellis is facing him on the left-hand side. Pulls the ball back across to Jones. Jones touches it back to Mee. Mee gets it in from the left-hand side. Boyd tried to flick it on just inside the penalty box. And it's knocked out for a throw to Burnley. Burnley, need I remind you, are in claret and blue for this game tonight. In fact, there's a free kick given for offside, I think, against Danny Ings and Burnley. So a free kick it is to Manchester City, which will be taken, of course, by the ever vibrant Joe Hart. He's in an all yellow goalkeeper's jersey today, and his free kick finds Trippier on the right hand side for Burnley, inside his own half when he heads that on. And Trippier will nod that back to goalkeeper Tom Heaton, who's in an all-green strip today. And there is the Manchester City manager, I can see there, looking impassively on, just scratching his face there. Manuel Pellegrini, whose side won the Championship won the Premier League last season, as Danny Ings turns 25 yards out. Ings shoots, and it's just a little bit too high. May have just been going wide in any case. And a goal kick it is to Manchester City. But Burnley not afraid to take Manchester City on tonight. They won't be afraid. A good right foot. They're just going away from the goal in the end. Wasn't going to give Joe Hart many problems there, but even so, a good piece of goalkeeping nonetheless. His Hart kicks away with the right foot, well over the halfway line, and now Mangala gets Bernardino rather gets it inside his own half. Now the ball played over the halfway line towards David Silva, but he lost it to Trippier, but then Silva won it back, and Aguero now will cut in from the left hand side. He's got Silva on the left hand flank. Now Silva has it left of the penalty box, surrounded by three Clovis defenders, and Scott Arfield was one of the three, and he just hoists it up towards Vokes on the halfway line. He flicks it on, but it's in a touch halfway inside the Manchester City half, and it's a throw to the champions. Served more buzzing than anticipation. They've only won one in their last 12, the Clarets, which is always a concern. That win was against relegation rivals Queen's Park Rangers when they won 2-1. They have drawn a lot of games, especially here. They threw 2-goal leads against Crystal Palace, I recall, when they were 2-up and seemingly coasting, and then went on to lose 3-2. And against West Brom here on a Sunday midday game when they went 2-up after 20 odd minutes, and then conceived to let Pios' side back in it just on the stroke of half time, and Julie, they could have easily lost that game as well that day. Here's David Silva midway inside the Burnley half, played it out to Jesus Navas on the far side. Navas now on the right, City right, Zabaleta on the elbow lap. Navas now to the right of the penalty box. Silva now face to shoot, but he plays it back to Yaya Toure. Now it's back to Navas on the right hand side. He's got Zabaleta now on the byline. When me blocks his first attempt, and then me just makes sure that he gets it out for a City throw. Level with the edge of the 6-yard box of Burnley. Almost in line, in fact, so it will be taken here by Pablo Zabaleta to David Silva. Silva now for Manchester City. Played back to Jesus Navas, and now back to his right wing partner Zabaleta. Now it's been played in field. Edin Dzeko has it now midway inside the Burnley half. Now it's played back to the halfway line, and a chance here for Martin Demichelis, who's sported a very shorter hairstyle now, unrecognisable to the long locks he once had early on in the season. Here's Yaya Toure, threaded into no man's land. Sheko now just to the left, will play it short to Jones, and Jones took an heavy touch, but he got away with it there, the former Wigan and Wolves man. Jason Sheko has been a colossus at the back for Burnley. In his time at the club, he was signed initially by the previous manager Eddie Howe. Mike Duff, in fact, his defensive partner, was signed by Steve Cottrell when he first came to the club back in 2004. And guess how much, and here's a little tribute question for everybody, guess how much, I'm going to give you the answer in about 10 minutes time. I bet you can't guess it. How much did Steve Cottrell sign Mike Duff for? I'll give you the answer in about 10 minutes time. You'll be surprised of how much Burnley paid to get him from then Football League club Cheltenham Town. Meanwhile, it's Aguero for Manchester City to Dzeko. Dzeko now 25 yards from goal. Plays it out towards Navas on the right hand side. Ben Mee tracking him all the way. Navas' cross into towards the 6-yard box, and Tom Heaton diving to his right, carries the ball and can get the danger away. But Jesus Navas, who's not really sprung to life since signing for Manchester City, but he's a very good Spanish international. He's got international pedigree. Meanwhile, we're back with the action. Trippier didn't keep that in play on the near side, so it is a throw to Manchester City. In point of fact, Trippier and Ben Mee, two of Burnley's back four, the wing backs tonight, were formerly youngsters at Manchester City, so that tells you a little something about the calibre of player that Manchester City couldn't get into their team. Trippier really has been one of the best right backs, certainly in this last 12 months or so. The amount of assists he got in the promotion team that won the championship last finished second in the championship behind Nigel Pearson's Leicester, who are currently stranded at the bottom of the Premiership table as Company hoist that out of the penalty box, and it's nodded back with interest by Shackle towards Vokes, deep inside the half, but there was an offside flag against some Vokes, so a free kick, but it's taken quickly now by Manchester City as Silva plays that in, and that's good defending there. Sean Dyche knows that you've got to build from the back. There's no point in worrying about it now as Clichy gets the ball, knocks it forward, but here is Boyd. Boyd touches it back. One ball forward and a chance now for Danny Ings now towards the right of the penalty area. He goes down. He's looking for a penalty, I think. Referee not interested. And, well, this is well for knock. It was Dimmick Ellis who was in fact involved in this. Now let's have a look at it. Well, it looks, on the replay it looks soft, but I think Dimmick Ellis did have his arm up and did hit Danny Ings there. And I've seen certainly on a few occasions where a penalty would have been given or a free kick in other parts of the area, but the referee didn't give it. And here come Manchester City now with Fernandinho. Halfway line, he's 25 yards from goal. Will he have the shot? He does try the shot, but it's well patrolled there by Ashley Barnes. No nonsense approach. And his no nonsense approach has upset many a big manager this season. Mr. Mourinho springing to mind. In my opinion, wrongly, because he's a heart on your sleeve sort of player, Barnes, and he'll give 110, 115% commitment to any cause that's possible. As we're coming up towards the 9-minute mark here, almost 10 minutes gone here, and Burnley really holding their own by this stage. 5 years ago, they were playing on a Saturday night then, on a televised fixture. They were 3 down at this stage. So there's been a lot of improvement since the ties last met here in the last sort of 5 years or more. And they had a much worse squad then than they do now, Manchester City, believe it or not. Meanwhile, Jones has it for Burnley inside the City half. Now plays it out to Arfield, who tries to get Trippier involved, and they'll try and get Trippier involved at every opportunity down the right. Level with the edge of the penalty area. Ball played in. The Burnley fans baying for an handball, and the referee was unmoved. To be fair to the Burnley players, I don't think they appealed for it too much. City now have it with Edin Dzeko. The ball knocked towards Aguero, but Shekel was there covering, and he gets it back to goalkeeper Tom Heaton. Now, was this a handball here? We're looking at a replay. Trippier with a cross. I'm not sure. I think on closer inspection it must have hit his chest. But Burnley really giving Manchester City a real game here, and they know they're going to be some battle here. Danny Ings goes in there and he's asking the linesman why have I been penalised, or is it a throw? Now, is this a penalty? Nope. From that angle, I've just said it there, the touchline camera they've got, this game is being televised live, so they've got a steady camera on the near side here, the television people, and quite clearly stated there on the replay that it did hit Clichy on the chest. Although, oh, Boyd is onside here down the right hand side. Boyd crossing towards the 6-yard box, and it was Company who got in front of Sam Vokes. Otherwise Vokes might have had an easy tap in there, although he would have had a big obstacle with Joe Hart. Definitely onside there. Boyd played in, but Company there, the captain's showing his worth. And Burnley now have a corner. We're in the 12th minute of the game, and really now Burnley starting to turn up the screw a little bit here in this first half. They're up for this one tonight. You can bet your boats on this. Trippier with the corner now, swinging, flicked on at the back post. Ben Mee goes in with a header and a far post, and it was over the top of the crossbar. Ben Mee. That would have been a nice little fillet for him. Being rejected by Manchester City as a youngster. But unfortunately, he just couldn't keep his header down, and Joe Hart was never going to be troubled with that header at all. Sean Dyche knows it was a very respectable chance. It paused the endeavour, I suppose, and but it's a goal kick nevertheless, and nothing has come from it. As Mike Duff now takes it on the halfway side, his own half, but he's I'm giving it straight to Clichy, who's gives it to Boyd. Boyd sprints over the halfway line, down the right-hand side, but Fernandinho and Clichy between them got it out for City. This is Fernandinho now. A long ball over the halfway line, trying to look for Aguero, and it falls quite kindly there for Tom Heaton, who can pick the ball out, and he throws it immediately to Jason Sheckle. Sheckle now to David Jones. And I suppose Burnley's struggles have coincided with the injury for Dean Money in the West Brom game. I think Jones has been a little bit lost without his midfield maestro alongside of him. This is Demichelis now for City over the halfway line. Clichy on the left hand side. Boyd closely watching him, but it's found its way to Sergio Aguero, and Aguero will run at the defenders. Aguero into the penalty area, and it was well hounded out, and Burnley really marshalling the two strike partners of Manchester City, Aguero and Zeko here, as Arfield goes on a good run, but he couldn't play through to Danny Ings. It was a good run midway inside the City half, in the centre of the field. Now it's Navas who switches it out to Zeko, who's just dropped back a little bit in the last couple of minutes or so. Silva has it in field. Now Toure to Silva. Silva back to Toure. 10 yards almost inside the Burnley half, and it's been played back over the halfway line to Demichelis, and he plays it back over the halfway line into the Burnley half. And here's Silva. Silva now flicking it on. Zabaleta down the right. First time cross. And it was meant, I think, for Zeko, although Silva got there first, but Sheckle got a good challenge in and knocks it out for a corner for Manchester City as we come up towards the quarter an hour mark, and I'll reveal the price in a moment or two of how much Burnley actually paid back in 2004 for Mike Duff. But we'll see this corner first. It's going to be Jesus Navas from the far side. Company and Demichelis are both forward. It's taken short to Silva. Back to Jesus Navas, and that's gone for a throw of George Boyd. We'll stick with the Manchester City attack, and then we'll reveal the answer to the question in case anyone got it at home. Zabaleta to take it, level with the edge of the Burnley penalty area. It's back in again, and it's crossed in from the left foot, from the right hand side, and nodded away by Sheckle, and then hooked away very high there. Company with a header back, and Barnes took it down quite superbly on the chest there, and the ball bouncing around a bit, but now Jones has it for Burnley. On to Arfield. Arfield now midway inside the City half, trying to force something out there for Burnley. But now the ball breaks to Ben Mee. Mee now comes towards Barnes. Barnes showed too much of that there to Yaya Toure. Now Yaya Toure has it back from Navas, and now to Silva. Silva back to Toure. Toure now to Fernandinho. Over the halfway line we go, and it's back again inside the City half of the field. City but now just playing a little bit of possession football at this moment in time, as Clichy now, the former Arsenal left back, takes possession. He finds Demichelis. Demichelis now over the halfway line. Fernandinho to Zabaleta. Zabaleta now to Navas. Navas to Fernandinho, and Zabaleta once again gets the ball back, and Joe Hart will take possession and kick it away right-footed. But straight to George Boyd. It didn't reach the halfway line. And here's a chance now for Barnes. And Barnes shoots. And it's over the top. And I think he's claimed a corner off Zabaleta. Just before that corner, we'll reveal the answer to the Mike Duff question. How much did it cost? Burnley from Cheltenham Town back in 2004. Answer, £30,000. There you go. That's something to impress your friends tonight after watching this game, listen to this game. Here's the corner then for Burnley, taken near side, try Trippier, the ball towards the 6-yard box. City scrambled away. I think Company got a head on it, and it was enough, and City clear by a deflection, but it falls to Scott Arfield, and he's tackled quite conclusively. First half possession at the quarter of an hour mark, 40% Burnley, 60% Man City, but City haven't really done much with even though they've had the most possession, they haven't really done that much in terms of possession as we would have thought they would have done. and that is quite staggering really when you think about it. Ball back with Joe Hart. Well, Manuel Pellegrini knows his side are in a game tonight, there's no doubt about that. You can bet your boots on that. We've almost coming up towards the halfway mark of the first period here as Joe Hart kicks right-footed over the halfway line, and it's nodded back with interest by Jason Shackle and cleared away by Company. Now as far as Zeko now has got Navas speeding down the right hand channel. The ball breaks to Yaya Toure, but then it also breaks to Trippier, who just puts his foot literally through the ball. And now Joe Hart to the left, to the right of the penalty area on the far side, kicks it away, and Burnley will look to try and close down from the front. One thing you'll get from Sean Dyche's side is work rate, effort and all that jazz. When he came to the club 2.5 years ago, he said, I expect effort, I expect sweat on the shirt after every game. Oh my goodness, of the players that have played for him since in a colour and blue shirt, not letting him down at all. They've always given everything, and he's absolutely up there. Dyche is absolutely up the Burnley fitness A game, he really has. They are one of the fittest sides in the Premier League and never stop running. Meanwhile, we've got Aguero now sprinting away from one defender. Sergio Aguero just to the right of goal. Inside the area, shoots, but it hits Ben Mee and goes for a throw almost level with the Burnley 18-yard box. But just for a moment there, Aguero got the ball, beat one defender, and then I think it was Duffy beat 36 years old Mike Duff, and it was well blocked. In the end it was. So a throw to City, level with the edge of the penalty box. And this has been a... oh dear, that's not a bad... that's not a good thing to Manchester City to do right now. They haven't really fashioned any real great opportunities, and that is a concern for Manuel Pellegrini. We're inside 20 minutes. We've had just shy of 20 minutes of the game gone. 0-0. But it's all happening here in the evening kickoff. Sean Dyche looks on. You can tell we're coming towards summertime because it's still daylight now. The sun is starting to set here at Turf Moor here in Burnley. 0-0 still the score. 20 minutes have been played now. But Dyche's side really have battled well and have given Manchester City a real examination here. Flurry of flowers being run by both sides on the far side. But he'll be pleased, Dyche, with the first 20 minutes. There's no two ways about that. They've really absolutely played with some real swagger about them. They've really looked very solid. Duff and Shackle, two centre-backs, have not really given respect to the front two of Manchester City. And here is Duff on the ball. Oh, lovely silky skills there just to shake off Shackle. But then they start playing the ball back, and it's back with Shackle, in fact. And it's Ben Mee now. Well, Burnley, left-hand side, plays it in towards Folks, midway inside the Burnley Man City half. He was not tracked there by anybody, and it's back to the right-hand side. Trippier, first-time cross. In there, and Folks, in fact, was going in for the header, but he couldn't direct it anywhere towards goal. In fact, it almost hit the corner flag, and it's gone, I think, for a goal kick. He's trying to win the header, and he's just got it. He hasn't got the direction. He's got the head on it all right, but just didn't like the direction. It almost went to the near side into the corner flag quadrant there, and it's a goal kick though, taken right footed by Joe Hart over the halfway line. Duff wins the header 10 yards inside his own half, and a little bit of tennis pinball machine inside the centre circle, but it's Burnley who came away with it, but now lost it again. And it's Yaya Toure. Toure now over the halfway line. And we've got Toure again. Zabaleta. Referee incidentally tonight comes from Birmingham. That's Andre Mariner. Has not had a bad first 20 odd minutes. We're halfway through the first half then. And it's Burnley 0, Manchester City 0. As things stand here at Turf Moor. 20,000 inside this famous old venue. And it is a famous old ground. It's a real traditional football ground, Turf Moor. It has a very good atmosphere. And of course, with the town really being set on the hillsides, it really has that feel. A really good feel for it. Proper northwestern feel to it. With the Pennines and the Bronte sisters. All that stuff. In fact, there was a film made on these moors back in 1962 with the great the actress Hayley Mills, who became a household name. I forget the name of the film, but it was made in 1962, and they filmed Juliet Bravo here and Hetty Wainthropp. So Burnley is well known to films and everything else like that, and they're also known for their football team. And at the moment, they're holding their own against Manchester City, and Arfield has yielded a throw. And Arfield has been the unsung hero this last 18 months. A free transfer from Huddersfield Town. When Huddersfield dealing surplus to requirements, Sean Dyche took a gamble, took him to the club, and really Arfield has not let him down in the slightest ever since. Scored on the opening night against Chelsea, of course, and has never looked back since. Here he is, Arfield now, playing it back to Michael Duff, who's shaking out Keane for the second centre-back spots, of course, alongside big Jason Sheckle, the Burnley captain. And it's what a game of long ball. We'll knock it long, you knock it long back, and it's back with Tom Heaton now. As we're now into the 25th minute of the game, and still 0-0. It's Jason Sheckle now getting it forward for Burnley, up towards Boakes. Boakes picking it on, but it's back by Gael Clichet, back to goalkeeper Joe Hart. Boakes is winning 1 or 2 flick-ons as well. Midway inside the City half, which is a good little filly for him. At the other end, we've got Zeko from 25 yards, shooting just wide of the target, to the right of the goal. And a goal kick it is to Burnley, and that's really the first real opportunity I've seen from Manchester City actually goal for goal. They haven't really created enough, I don't think, as an attacking force from memory, although Burnley have had 4 attempts to City's 3, and on target, like the scoreline, 0-0. Here we go again with the Heaton goal kick, right footed over the halfway line it goes, and flicked on again by Sam Vokes, big tall figure, and he flicked that one on. Offside given there. Free kick to Burnley. It was Sergio Aguero who was flagged offside there, and the free kick taken by Sheckle to David Jones. Jones to Ashley Barnes. Barnes, who's had a good season here in the Premier League season for the Clarets. He's not let anybody down at the club. I know he had his problems with the Matic incident against Chelsea, but I don't think he was in the wrong there. I do feel, unlike Mourinho, he did intend to pass it. I think the follow-through did for Matic more than anything else. Both players were committed, but that's another story. That's been and gone now. It's been nearly a month since that incident, but it's not affected Barnes' game at all. If anything, it's probably made him a lot stronger as a character and a footballer. And that's always a testament to him as we go inside the last 20 minutes of this first half then. Burnley 0, Manchester City 0. That almost came off the referee, and it's David Silva, 35 yards from goal. Points it to Clichet now on the left hand side, the near side as I look. And then it's back to Fernandinho in field, and it's back to David Silva. Silva back to Fernandinho. City just keeping the ball a bit, but Not really putting too much stress on that Burnley back four, but Clichy might have a chance to cross it in, but he goes in field. And again plays the short pass to Yaya Toure. Jim McKinless though to Captain Vincent Kompany. City just happy to play keep ball here at this precise moment here, which is worrying if you're a City fan, because you want to see them try and at least test the goalkeeper. And so far they haven't had the opportunity to do so, and or really test Tom Heaton. And I don't think Tom Heaton has actually had that much to save to make, and not from memory, I don't think. Here comes Boyds for Burnley. He's just been a little bit off the boil the last few moments, and here comes City now, starting to come into the game a little bit more now. Silva now to the left of the penalty area, but he gives it stupidly away to Trippier. You don't want to be doing it to Kieran Trippier. He's one of the most dangerous right backs, I believe, in the entire league for the last 12 to 18 months. And the long ball forward, but it comes to Di Michaelis. Di Michaelis now being tracked all the way by Danny Inks. Joe Hart is there. Burnley fans after something else as well. Here's David Jones. Now the Burnley fans start to believe once again. Here's Ben Mee. Mee back to Jones. Jones to Arfield. And then he gets it back to Jones. Here's Jones now chipping it forward. Cut out by Di Michaelis. Now Yaya Toure, midway inside his own half. We're coming up towards half an hour now of this match completed. This is Jesus Navas on the right hand side for Manchester City, trying to get past Ben Mee, who's just sticking to him here like super glue at the moment. He's got Zabaleta on the chase, and Zabaleta now with a dangerous ball back. Shekel was there, and so too was Folks. Folks there. They appeal for handball City, but not given. Here's Bernardinho now. Here's a chance now. Eddie Dzeko, and a good save. A good save by Tom Heaton, and then the follow-up shot from just outside the penalty area from Aguero, right-footed, was easily gathered in by the Burnley number one. Here it is again. Well, was he offside? I don't know, but it was a good save with the legs. Tom Heaton there making a smart save, and then he had to be on his mettle to keep out the second effort, which was straight at him. In fairness, he got everything behind the shot. But City now have had two shots on target inside, 10 seconds there. So they've now raised the stakes a little bit now on the Clarets. But the Clarets are still in there. As long as they're in there for as long as they can and hold City, they've got every chance. And Barnes now to the byline. Pulled back in, he was just behind Ings. The appeal to handball, not given. The ball touched back now. Arfield with a shot. Arfield! And it was killed. It was well saved there by Hart, who held on to it. Down and away to his left-hand side. Now the game's starting to open up. Half an hour gone. 0-0. Both sides now have had a couple of chances each in the game. And now Navas now. Non-stop here. Navas back to Yaya Toure. Now City slow the pace down a little bit. Here is Yaya Toure on halfway. 0-0. Gimachelis now to Clichy on the near side. Clichy back in field to Fernandinho. And now here's David Silva. Silva now to Clichy. Clichy now with a cross. He hit Kieran Trippier. And it will be a corner to Manchester City. So we just see the chance there. Barnes making it possible. Ball didn't just evaded Ings. Then there was a game of pinball there, and then Arfield had the shot, and it was easy for Joe Hart. Arfield, as you know, scored that blockbuster goal on the opening night past Thibaut Courtois of Chelsea. Silva takes this corner, went back out, and it comes to Clichy now. Clichy to Silva now, left-hand side of the penalty area. Navas now to Clichy. Clichy now left of the penalty area in towards the penalty box, and it's knocked away, but only as far as Fernandinho just about keeps his feet, gets the cross in, and it's dangerous there, and inside the 6-yard box Jones has to scoop it away and out behind for a corner. City now raising the bar, raising the standards, looking for the opening goal of this match, and they're coming mighty close now, but still no breakthrough. And there's the corner taken there by Navas. It was a poor one, in fairness. Burnley were able to clear that 9 times out of 10. Normally, here come Manchester City again. This time with Silva. Silva on the right hand side now. Switches from left flank to right flank. And now he has to play a ball from right to left to flank again. And this is Clichy. Clichy to Aguero now. He's just dropped off to the left hand side a little bit here. Plays it back to Gael Clichy. Inside the last quarter of an hour of the first half. But any stoppage time that might be added on at the end of the first half. But I think as far as the officials are concerned, been good so far. Andre Marino has refereed the game. He's tried to let the game flow, which is always good, because if you let the game flow and let the game breathe, then invariably you get... Now, I've just seen a replay now. Did that? Was that a possible penalty? I've seen those given. It was picked up for Fernandinho's hand. I didn't see that initially on the actual match action now live, but looking at a replay on the monitor, it looks a suspicion like handball. It did flick up his back of his heel and onto his arm, and you have seen him given. Although some critics would argue and more critics would argue that's possibly ball to hand. But it's still 0-0 here, and a good game here as Yaya Toure plays it out to the far side. And Silva now plays it in towards Silva, back to Dzeko now. Dzeko, good tackle there by Shackle. The ball back towards Sergio Aguero, who shoots wide at the target to the right of the goal, and he couldn't finish it. Just to the right of the 6-yard box, and he shoots to the right of goal, wide of the target. No flag there. Dzeko went in first. Good spot there by Shackle and Heaton between them. It came to Sergio Aguero, and Diego Maradona's stepson shoots wide of the target. May just clipped the side of the netting as it went behind for the goal kick, but no problems at the moment for Burnley. They're still holding firm as Heaton takes a goal kick. Right footed, well over the halfway line, about 5 yards inside the City half, incidentally. Harfield takes possession inside the centre circle. I thought that was looked a little bit of an obstruction, but the referee Mariner from Birmingham lets it go, and here comes David Silva now inside the Burnley half, but it's back to Yaya Toure, and City just content to play it in their own half at the moment, which baffles me really. If you're a championship challenger, you want to go and try and take the game to your opponents. And then, yes, they've created 2 or 3 chances in the last sort of 5 or 6 minutes, but City are not being ruthless enough. They haven't really put Burnley under severe pressure. It's been the opposite way round really. Burnley have been putting City under real pressure and defending and really trying to make things difficult at the back. Vokes is onside and he plays it to Boyd. Boyd to the right, tries to cut in field. Boyd was taken out fairly, says the referee. Mariner from Birmingham lets it go. Here's Aguero now over to the far side. And this is Jesus Navas. And Navas, obstruction there, according to the ref by Ben Mee. And that'll be a free kick to Manchester City on the right-hand side. About 15 yards inside the Burnley half of the field. And Navas, well, I think he's looking for it a little bit. Ben Mee's trying to... I don't think he's intending to block him off. I think Navas does make a little bit a meal of it, and I think that's what's probably saved Ben Mee from actually being booked there, because even though it is a free kick, Navas does tend to make a little bit of a meal of it. Free kick was taken quickly, and in the end it really didn't come to much really. City still have it, mind you, 10 yards inside the area with Silva, and they stupidly lost it to Harfield. You don't want to be doing that. Here's Jones back to Ben Mee, who gave away the free kick just a couple of minutes ago, and then he puts it back to Tom Heaton, who kicks right footed first time. Right on halfway, Fox flicks on, trying to look for Danny Ings, and then it's returned with great interest by Vincent Kompany. No foul, and here comes Barnes. Barnes trying to find Danny Ings that time, and it might come here. There was a dodgy little back pass City played there, and Ings was there lightning quick. Here's Aguero now on the City left hand side. 0-0 is the score here at Turf Moor, and a game really that both sides can ill afford to lose. City, in their quest to retain the Premier League Championship, which could well end up going to Stamford Bridge if they lose tonight. And it could be a crucial moment in the champion race, but also from Burnley's point of view, they're battling to stay in the division. And a win really could be a shot in the arm as Arfield now goes way inside the City half, and he plays it out to the right hand side. Trippier now trying to show the tricks now. Trippier with a little deft cross in there. Ings trying to control it acrobatically, fell on flat on his face, and in the end the ball into Moman's land inside the box, and Joe Hart picks it out and throws it out to Gael Clichy. We're inside the last 10 minutes of the first half, and by the end of that we'll be all happy for a cup of tea and a half-time breather, I would fancy. And Dimichelis now for Manchester City. Last 10 minutes possession, I should tell you, Burnley have had just 30% and City have had 70%, but to me that doesn't tell the story, and I don't think it reflects fairly on Burnley at the moment. The way they've worked hard, and City really haven't created. Yes, they've had 3 opportunities, but apart from that, they've not really created much else, which will disappoint Pellegrini in a way. Both managers now both in their technical areas towards the far side. Dyche always shows the more animated of the 2 managers because he wants more from his troops. He's a more passionate guy than Pellegrini. Pellegrini very stern-faced, very poker-faced in his expressions on the touchline. Clichy plays it back to Fernandinho. Fernandinho now tries to play it into Zeko. Zeko just casually lays it on to Zabaleta on the right hand side. Now Navas back to Toure. Toure now to Fernandinho. Now Aguero. He's not going to fool George Boyd, but here come Manchester City, and Boyd just makes certain that City don't go too far forward at the moment, and it's a throw to them, but it's back with Dimichelis literally on the halfway line as we look at it at the moment. Coming up towards the last 5 minutes plus stoppage time of the first half then at Turf Moor as Silva plays it in there towards Aguero. Aguero shot his charge down. It was inside the area, about 16, 17 yards from goal, but it was well blocked by Michael Duff. So just over 5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Burnley more than holding their own in the claret and blue. 0-0 with Manchester City in the dark blue strip. Here's Sergio Aguero now for City. Clichy makes a good break down the left hand channel, gets the cross in, and it's knocked back across, and it's into the side netting, and it was Silva at the back post, I think, trying to score from an acute angle. Clichy's cross, it was Zeko in the side, the 6-yard area, and in fact I think it was Sergio Aguero who tried to smash it in, and he couldn't in the end. And with Barcelona coming up for Manchester City on Wednesday night, a defeat now would not be ideal going into that game, because City are 2-1 down from that first leg. After Joe, it could have been even worse if it wasn't, but Joe Hart's penalty save towards the end of that first leg a couple of weeks ago at the Etihad Stadium. And that is back to Tom Heaton, whose goalkeeping has been exemplary, even though Burnley have conceded 1 or 2. He's made some smart saves in this Premier League this season. He saved one, I think, from Robin van Persie earlier on in the season when Manchester United came for the 3rd game of the season, and that's where Burnley got their first point on the board here against Manchester United, who look like, barring miracles from elsewhere, like easily hopefully getting into the top 4, which would bring them a Champions League place for Louis van Gaal next season. And then the pressure really will be on Manchester United then to deliver a bit of silverware, because they haven't done that since Sir Alex Ferguson has left. Here's Boyd battling with it now with Clichy. Clichy just about coming out on top, but Boyd gave him a good contest there. 4 minutes of the first half to go. 0-0. Here's Fernandinho to Silva. Silva now 10 yards inside the Burnley half of the field. And now Yaya Toure with about 10 yards worth of space to himself. A chance here now to size up the option, but Danny Ings has come roaring back and has Toure playing the ball back. Toure not really having one of his better games at the moment, and normally if he was at the Etihad he'd pick a pass straight away, but because it's Burnley and the way Burnley are working hard and the way that the players are roaring back into position, not allowing City any chance to move any further forward with the ball, City really have been forced to retreat every single time they've gone into an attacking position, which will frustrate Pellegrini but will be delighting Sean Dyche inside. And I'm sure the team talk from Dyche will be more of the same, and if we get a set piece, let's take our chances from it. So far Burnley have been terrific. Terrific defensively, terrifically organised, and sometimes when you're at the bottom you have to be that way. And Duff again, and Ben Mee this time defending well, but it's broken to Nabaz on the right hand side, level with the penalty area. Cross got a deflection of former City youngster Ben Mee for a corner. Referee not in the good books of the Claret supporters. I have to say there's one of... Now let's have a look at this. I think it was a challenge here by Company on Vokes that they weren't entirely happy with, but it's a City corner. Ben Mee completely lost his bearings, and then it was hooked away acrobatically by, I think it wasn't Danny Ings, I think it was somebody else. I couldn't make out from where I'm sitting who it was, but Burnley have defended rather well. We're inside the last couple of minutes of the first half. Can Burnley hang in there to half time, get in the dressing room and maybe put away to winning this game? They need to win this game. It's a tall order. They've also got games to come against Arsenal here at Turf Moor and Tottenham in successive games, and that will be tough. The next game, incidentally, I think is against Tottenham. So this is important now that they get the 3 points. Southampton is next up for them away from home. Inside the last minute, in fact, of the first period, and 0-0 is the score then at the Turf. And that is not a free kick, and that looked a foul there, clear foul on Sam Vokes by Martin Demichelis. Now maybe the referee's got to start giving one or two of these decisions. Sam Vokes is still down there on the ground. There was a long ball up towards Vokes there. Well, Demichelis takes him out there, doesn't he? That should be a Burnley free kick. Vokes is up there limping. I don't know, has he given the free kick? I think he has, actually. No, he hasn't. It's back with Joe Hart, and there's boos all around. In fact, there's no time for any time, so it's 0-0. But Burnley can be pleased with their first half so far. They've kept Manchester City at the premium. They should have got a decision at the end of the first half, but all in all, Burnley can be pleased. Sean Dyche will get them in, get them organised again, and who knows, they might get an opportunity and might still steal a victory over Manchester City. But they're holding the champions here at Turf Moor. Half time then, with the second half commentary to come. It's Burnley 0, Manchester City 0. Second half commentary of this crucial Barclays Premier League encounter between Sean Dyche's second from bottom Burnley and Pellegrini's second from top Manchester City. Both need to win this game for obvious reasons. Burnley to try and avoid the drop to the Championship. As for Manchester City and Manuel Pellegrini, it's all about trying to stay in there and win the League Championship at the moment, and this really will be a real second half to enjoy. I am very, very sure of that. So we're all set to go then for the second period then. So here we go then. No changes from either side as far as I can make out. Both sets of players, all 22 players on the pitch. As referee Mariner for Birmingham gets this game second half underway. Burnley now kicking off, attacking their favourite end, the Jimmy McElroy end, or the B-hole end as it used to be known, in the second half. Turf Moor He's buzzing with anticipation. They really kept Burnley at bay, I felt, throughout that first half. I really did think that. Now can Burnley get themselves an opportunity? Ball played in towards Sam Boakes from the right hand side. Nodded behind for the first throw of the second half by Martin Di Michaelis, who was lucky to get away with a challenge from Sam Boakes at the end of the first half. Kieran Trippier, the former Manchester City youngster, with a throw. Him and Ben Mee came to the club as a pair back in 2012. Or was it 2011? 2011, initially on loan, but they both signed permanently. There's a player gone down, and it's Michael Duff there lying prostrate on the ground after coming together there. Oof, I'll tell you what, Guerrero has left his foot in there. And I tell you what, on another day, that's a bookable offence. Probably more than that. That's probably, arguably, a red card offence. Mike Duff really feeling the effects of that challenge there. I don't know what Yaya Toure is trying to do there. Is he trying to help him up off the ground? He's quite clearly hurt, and Yaya Toure is going around trying to speed it up. I think that's disrespectful in the least. Duff, the competitor he is. He's one thing you'll get from Michael Duff. He's a competitor. He likes to battle, and he's a hard nut. There's referee Mariner, as I can see there, from Birmingham, who's not been too popular with the Claret Spans, and I've got little sympathy with himself. But here comes Trippier now with an early cross, just too far in front of the ball. Was too far in front of Sam Boakes. He was waiting, was running in by the penalty spot area. The ball was a little bit, about 5 yards, a little bit in front of him now. As Aguero now turns it towards Silva now, midway inside the Burnley half. Now it's out to the right hand side, and it's Zeko towards Bernardinho. His first touch was heavy. Barnes was able to pick it up. Now Jones, short to Arfield. Arfield beautifully out of the cul-de-sac now down the right hand side, the far side, as we look to Trippier. Trippier long ball forward in towards the Man City half of the field. This is Toure. Back to Fernandinho. And really, Burnley, if they really keep Manchester City at bay, get themselves a set-piece opportunity, a set-piece chance, then the game could be there for the taking. But it's Zeko now on the near side for Manchester City. Keeps the ball in play by the byline. Needs support. Gets it now with Jesus Navas. Navas now will run at Ben Mee. Little back heel back to Zabaleta. Zabaleta to Toure. Now they're playing it in towards the centre of the field. The cross comes in towards the penalty area. Nodded out there by Michael Duff. And now a chance here for Ings to break, and he gets it up towards Sam Boakes. And Di Michaelis is wanting there, but company there, covering there, as Sam Boakes was destined for a moment or two to get through and see the lights of Joe Hart's eyes in front of him there as he looked to get one-on-one with the City keeper, but company there swept up, did a very, very good defensive job. And it's still 0-0, and Burnley still having a good portion of possession, but it's with Manchester City now, and Navas now in field, tries to break towards the halfway line. Silva will knock it long up towards Edin Dzeko. Here we know we're heading towards springtime now. He's still got the gloves on, and the referee has given a free kick to Burnley. Trippier has gone. He's been taken out, flattened there. Referee Mariner's got to get on top of this. And it's actually a free kick inside the Burnley half of the field. Andre Mariner of Birmingham is not taking any further action now. It was Jesus Navas there. Well, that should be a booking then, shouldn't it? You know, he's like one or two Manchester City players off the hook there, I suppose. Here's David Jones now for Burnley now trying to shake off Zeko, but he couldn't do so in the end. The Burnley fans here feel that they've been shortchanged by a couple of refereeing decisions, and I've got a lot of sympathy with them. I think they've been looking. That's got to be a foul by Yaya Toure on Danny Ings. It has to be, just inside the Burnley, in the City half. And one or two ironic cheers because the Burnley fans quite rightly feel aggrieved. That's a blatant little push and a little dig into the back of Ings' back. That's a free kick every day of the week. So about 5 or 10 yards inside the Burnley, the Manchester City half. It's still inside the centre circle, mind you. We have a free kick. Trippier to take. Plenty of players forward for Burnley. Trippier knocks it long towards the edge of the penalty box, but it's nodded out, but not very far. And here's Ashley Barnes trying to hook it through the crowd, but he couldn't. And now we've got a break on here with Sergio Aguero breaking over the halfway line towards the penalty area. And a chance here for David Silva. Silva's took it too wide. Silva gets the shot in. Ethan Half saves it, but then scrambles back and claims the ball about 2 or 3 yards from the goal line there. Otherwise, City would have been in front. But a devastating burst. Burnley committed men forward for the free kick, which broke down from Trippier. Wasn't the best free kick. And to be fair, Silva was forced wide, and in the end, Heaton did very, very well. Saved it initially, and it bought him a little bit of breathing space to get back before the ball crossed the goal line, because it was heading perilously towards goal, and he got back and dived on top of the ball. So City really with the first meaningful opportunity of the second half, which is now 6 minutes old. And the ball back with England's Joe Hart to Di Michaelis. Now to his centre-back partner, Vincent Kompany, the captain of Manchester City. Both first-choice centre-backs. Both captains of their respective clubs, of course. Shackle being his opposite number, of course. And here is Yaya Toure, number 42, shaking away from Jones, number 14. Plays it up towards 21, David Silva on the far side. And here is Toure again. Toure now to Fernandinho. Fernandinho now to Navas. Navas now on the right. Cuts in field. Jesus Navas tries to play the ball in. Navas gets it back from the 1-2 with David Silva. Still City have it, and it's down on the far near side. It's Zabaleta's cross, and it's pulled back and towards the 6-yard box. And Sergio Aguero flying in there, trying to prod it goalwards, but he's prodded it off target. It's missed to the right of the goal. And it's a goal kick to Burnley, and they'll be very relieved there, the Clarets, that attack didn't come to any fruition, although Zabaleta really did cause a threat down that right-hand channel. And we're just seeing the earlier replay here for David Silva. His first touch actually takes him quite a lot wide. I think Heaton half-spotted it, but there was Trippier on the line, in fairness to Tom Heaton here. So a certain goal would have been saved regardless of whether Heaton got back to dive on the ball or not, really. So there wouldn't have been any worries there from Burnley's point of view, because, as I say, Trippier was well policed, well marshalled, and well stationed on the line, rather, to have hooked that away if Heaton hadn't got back. As we coach the first 10 minutes of the second half now, and we're into the 54th minute mark, and here is Jones to Arfield. Arfield has had another usual marvellous game, and he's put a nice ball out to Trippier. Joe Hart coming through, not getting a good purchase on the fist, but it's luckily for the England goalkeeper, it's fallen for his teammate Yaya Toure. It's a long ball there towards Edin Dzeko, who's not happy at all. In fact, it's Sergio Aguero. He's got gloves on as well. I think they're soft here, these Argentinians and Bosnians. I have to be honest with you. It may be Burnley on a Saturday night, but it's not that cold. Meanwhile, we've got another. Was there a potential handball decision here? Well, that use of the arm as Trippier tried to prod that ball forward. Meanwhile, there's another Burnley player has gone down, George Boyd, but I don't think it was a foul. No, nay, never now. Sings around Turf Moor. It's been a rip-roaring first 10 minutes of the second half. And here's Jesus Navas. Conceded there by Ben Mee. This has been a great rip-roaring first 10 minutes, and plenty of action happening at both ends of the ground. And now we're down towards the cricket field end of the stadium here, where City are attacking in the second half. There are 4,000 Manchester City fans, incidentally, in that stand to my right. And here is Shackle playing it over the halfway line, and that will evade Danny Ings, and it will be a throw midway inside the Manchester City half to Manchester City. And he looks still stern-faced there, Manuel Pellegrini. Won the Premier League, did the double last year, the Premier League and the Capital One Cup. They beat Sunderland in the final at Wembley, having trailed for a long period in the final. Meanwhile, we've got Volks there, chipping it in there. Di Michaelis winning the header. He drops the Boyd on the mark. George Boyd on with the right foot, and it's just missed to the left of the goal. Really good effort there from George Boyd. And that's the first real opportunity Burnley have fashioned in the second half. Di Michaelis with a poor header out, and on the right foot hits a glorious volley here, George Boyd. It just misses the post, the left-hand post, by inches there. A really good effort there by Boyd. And that would have been a fantastic goal if that had gone in. A truly remarkable technique volley there, which just went wide. Another Burnley player's gone down. And the referee's obviously got to stop it. It's Danny Ings now clutching his head. And Ings gets up straight away. And Di Michaelis here is living a charmed life. He's like a cat on 9 lives. He must have used about 7.5 out of 8 here. And I think the next offence, I think surely, if he commits a foul in the next offence, he's got to get a booking. Because some of his play today has been very, very stupid. And has been of the foul play variety. City have had a warning there given to them by Georgie Boy with a tremendous volley from just outside the D. And here is Ben Mee back to his goalkeeper Tom Heaton. And Heaton kicks long right-footed, and it's almost found Barnes, but it's now Arfield, Robert Jones taking it up, and it's Volks now for Burnley. But the ball is not back again, and again the referee giving a decision against Burnley. Now Jesus Navas is he's going to book him. Oh, that's ridiculous. Ben Mee's going to get a booking, and that has not gone down too well with the Burnley public, and I've got nothing but sympathy. Well, there's been challenges for Manchester City players tonight that have been worse than this one here. Navas making a meal of it again. Ben Mee hardly touched him, and Navas goes down as if he's been shot there by Lee Harvey Oswald, and cons the ref into giving a booking for Ben Mee, which should never have been a booking in the first place, because that, in my opinion, was not a bookable offence. And I've got to agree with Sean Dyche, the Burnley players and the Burnley fans, that was a poor decision from the referee. Now we've got David Silva inside the Burnley penalty area. It's towards Echo. He's missed his kick. And cheers are plenty go up around Turf Moor. As Zeko absolutely completely missed his kick. It was a poor attempt, really. Silva with a nice little cross in there, and Zeko, that was a lazy swipe with his left foot. And, well, less said about that the better. Coming up towards an hour gone then at Turf Moor. Trippier with a throw then for the Clarets, who feel incensed that one or two of the decisions haven't gone their way, and they've got every reason, I think, to certainly gripe on about that. And Trippier will let that go for another throw, and that will be a Burnley throw. There's Wilfred Bonney there on the far side, the man they signed in January from Gabby Monk's Swansea City. And Trippier to take another long throw over the halfway line, flicked on again, and Boy was there too. Arfield battling with that one. It comes to Zeko now, and David Silva, but he gives it straight to Kieran Trippier. Gets the ball forward. Danny Ings now playing it on there, and here's a chance for Boyd. Boyd now running very well, and Boyd trying to get it in there, and Danny Ings almost there, but Joe Hart by the penalty spot carries it there. That was a good race there, and now boos coming up around Turf Moor. They're not liking what the referee's doing right now at this precise moment. They feel that Di Michaelis should be at least in the book. One or two of the challenges he's committed in this game. Here's Trippier though. Oh, well, one there against Zeko. Now he's got Ings down the right-hand side. Ings kicks in field, and he's blatantly taken out by Martin Di Michaelis, who's surely now going to be at least booked, if not red-carded. That is a bad challenge. Ings going through there, cutting inside, and he was well taken out there by Di Michaelis there, who now is the first City player in the book, and he has walked a tightrope for most of this second half already. So, we've played now exactly an hour of this match. No goals, but Burnley have a free kick just to the right of the penalty area. Two-man committee, Jones and Trippier, are behind this. Shackle up from the back. Ben Mee up from the back. Folks is in there. Ings is in there too. Boyd will probably be on the edge of the penalty area, looking for any knockdown. So it's going to be Trippier, right-footed into the penalty area. Company gets it away. Boyd, left foot, goal! Goal for Burnley! It's George Boyd! He found the far right corner, and John Moore erupts! Unbelievable scenes of joy! An explosion of joy! Burnley 1, Manchester City 0. George Boyd, and maybe, just maybe, justice is done. Trippier with a floated free kick. It was a poor header away from Vincent Kompany. But George Boyd was there with his left foot, and he hit it on the half volley from the edge of the D. It flew into the right-hand corner, the bottom right-hand corner. And Turnbull is shaking to its foundations. Absolutely shaking. 61 minutes gone here at Turf Moor. Burnley 1, Manchester City 0. Well, I said at the start of the second half they had to hold in there, Burnley, and possibly get a chance from the set piece. I think they must have listened to me, because that was a well-worked set piece. Poor defending from Vincent Kompany, but that was a glorious half volley from George Boyd now. And Burnley have the lead, and on balance richly deserved. Here's Boyd now. And Demichelis is biting at him. Trippier now. Oh, that's got to be a second yellow for Demichelis. That was a worse tackle than the one before that. And the referee's got to take action. Surely Arfield's telling him he must go for that. Kevin Friend of Leicestershire is the fourth official. Sean Dyche there and himself having a consultation there. Steve Ian Welm there as well. Oh, that's a bookable offence. He should be off the field there. That challenge was even worse than the one he got booked for about 3 minutes ago. That's got to be a red card. It's got to be a red card. But he's got away with it. Again, he's like a cat with 9 lives, Demichelis. It's a red card offence. He's taken Trippier out. It's a late challenge. It's from behind. It's from the side. It's a second yellow, and he should be off the field. Meanwhile, we've got a change on. Pellegrini's reacted to going a goal down. He's going to bring on Wilfried Bony. He's come on. Eddie Dzeko has been, apart from a couple of our chances, has not been at his best, and maybe his days could well be numbered up here at the Etihad at the end of the season. Well, an explosion of joy. I went up around Turf Moor about 3.5 minutes ago, and they haven't stopped singing and shouting. I'm surprised the Burnley fans have still got voices. I'm certainly hoarse now after what's happening here in the 63 minutes that we've been playing. But there's still another 25 just over to go, plus probably 4 minutes of stoppage time as Silva breaks into the penalty area, pulled back towards Wilfried Bony, and Ben Mee just hooks it out, or hooks it anywhere he can. Toure has it 25 yards from goal. He hasn't done a good game either. Here's Zabaleta, right hand side, cuts in field to Toure, big, tall, leggy figure. And here is Zabaleta again, right hand side. Toure now pops up on the right hand side, number 42. City now looking for an instant reply. Plays it in towards Bony. But again, good headers won there by the Burnley defence. They've really stepped it up now, Burnley. They've raised their stakes now, and I've said to Manchester City, you come and attack us now. You come and try and break us down. We've got a lead to protect. Can they hold on, Burnley, and really play a significant part, not just in their own destiny, but in the title race as well? This is Jesus Navas down the right hand side, in towards Wilfried Bony. Bony, good control there on the edge of the D. Now Aguero has it. It's Sergio Aguero inside the penalty area. It's watched by 2 Burnley defenders. Here's Bony again from 20 yards from goal. It's Toure now to Navas on the right hand side inside the penalty area. Crosses in from the right. He's deflected off a defender. It will be a corner. It was actually Barnes it deflected off, and it will be a corner now to Manchester City. Jesus Navas to take. Kompany up from the back. Bonny's right in there too as well. So Company forward by the penalty spot. Wilfred Bonney is there as well. There's the corner ripped in by Navas. One brilliantly. That's a shot back in. And over the top from Fernandinho from about, what, 25 yards out. With his right foot. With his left foot, rather. And it's a goal kick to Burnley. And that will be music to everyone's ears, that. Second half possession with 20 minutes of it gone. Burnley with 40%, City with 60%. And it doesn't matter if City have had the more possession, it's what you do with it that counts. And to be quite honest with you, they haven't really done much really with the possession. But Burnley, they've scored a goal with their 40%, and sometimes City can probably argue that they've had a lot of possession in a lot of the game, but what have they realistically done with it, with the possession? Not a great deal, to be honest, folks. I have to be honest. 25 minutes of this game still to go. We're at the halfway mark of the second half, and here's Joe Hart beaten by a superb volley. And I should also add, Joe Hart did dive to his left-hand side to try and save the shot. But there was no way he was getting near that George Boyd effort that beat him 6 minutes ago. It was just a marvellous, marvellous goal. And it's just what the game needed. And it needed a Burnley goal to really give this game an added twist now. And Burnley now could really give themselves a chance of staying up here if they can hold on to the lead, or maybe even double it here now. They're on the attack with Trippier. And Boyd continues to run down the right-hand side inside the City half. Level with the edge of the penalty box now. Back to Trippier now. Trippier now crosses it in there towards Danny Ings inside the City penalty area. Ings now on the edge of it. Ings trying to play it in towards George Boyd, and he just couldn't succeed in doing so. The City just had enough bodies back, and in the end it was well marshalled, and it will be a throw now to Sean Dyche's men. Sean Dyche now taking a sip of bottled water, and it's going to be a nerve-wracking 25 minutes or so now, because this game could really hinge on whether Burnley can keep the clean sheet, or will Manchester City get themselves an equaliser. It's going to be an absolutely rip-roaring and a roller coaster over 25 minutes or so we've got lined up now. 22 minutes to be exact of normal time to go, plus whatever stoppage time, and I'm sure there'll be at least 4 or 5 minutes of that, knowing the officials. My voice is certainly hoarse. And there's still 20 odd minutes of this game still to run, as Arfield tries to flick it over the head of Fernandinho, but he couldn't succeed. And now City have it with Bonney now towards Aguero now to Silva. Played a little bit behind Silva, but he's kept it alive. Now Aguero deep inside the Burnley half. Now shines Navas on the right of the penalty box. Two Burnley players there shadowing him, and the cross in there from Toure, and it's nodded, I think, over and wide by Sergio Aguero, and Burnley can breathe a huge sigh of relief because they have a goal kick now. And to be quite honest, Aguero has been rather off target, I think, with his finishing. As we see the free kick again, the free kick routine, it was Trippier with a good little chip in towards the area, creates and company with a poor header out, and it allowed George Boyd on the left foot on the half volley to strike it in at the bottom right hand corner past a diving Joe Hart, who was trying to dive away to his right, and the whole place erupted as that ball played in there towards Ings. Ings' first touch was a little heavy, but he was surrounded and under pressure by two Manchester City defenders, and in the end it's gone behind for a goal kick. Joe Hart to take it with the right foot, and he kicks it away well up and over the halfway line, and Boyd has it. 20 minutes of the game to go. Burnley 1, Manchester City 0. Here is the goal scorer on the ball, trying to break out of a cul-de-sac on the halfway line. That's George Boyd, and he did so. But it's back with Mike Duff now for Burnley. That wasn't a good ball, however, by Duff. And it gives Manchester City a chance to break. That's going to be a free kick against Michael Duff, and that's a yellow card. I think that's a little bit harsh, considering there was a worse challenge earlier on by Aguero. Oh, that's ridiculous. And again, the theatrics of Sergio Aguero has conned the referee into giving poor Michael Duff a yellow card. It's his third yellow card in the league this season, and I think that's a rather harsh decision. It's probably a free kick, no more, but a yellow card? Andre Mariner's got to get a grip of these cards. I mean, he should have shown 2 already to Di Michaelis, and that is the frustration, really. I don't think the consistency's there. The free kick floated in there towards Wilfried Bonney, who nods it from about 7 or 8 yards out, but it's straight into the arms of Tom Heaton. It was a 3-header though, so a little bit of concern there from the Burnley defence. He wasn't really marked tightly enough. He allowed to get the header in. There's going to be another change in the offing here for Manchester City, and Pellegrini's men have to go for it now. Although they could be susceptible to the Burnley counter-attack, the more the bodies they throw forward in the next 20 odd minutes or so. So we're inside the last 20 minutes of normal time, plus any stoppage time that on fourth official, which is Kevin Friend of Leicestershire, another Midlander official, will want to add on. But I have to say, Mr. Mariner of Birmingham in the second half especially has been rather inconsistent with his yellow cards, and maybe should have sent off Di Michaelis, almost certainly in my opinion. Here's Bonney now, deep inside the Burnley half now, almost over the penalty area. Good football again, Cliche with a cross, but it bent me with a poor header out really. Toure, shot deflected. It was a right-footed shot and it got a big deflection of the captain Jason Shekel, and it went behind for a corner. A little bit of hearty mouth time there for the Clarets. It came out and Shekel got a good purchase on that, and it was behind for the corner. It's Navas who takes it, and it's come out of the penalty area. Fernandinho is there, and Jones got it half out, still with Aguero now. Arfield hooks it towards Ings. Company flicks it on. Arfield to win, Jones rather to win another header. Now Boyd to Trippier, and Trippier will run at them. And that's a good ball now, and the cross from Danny Ings was not the best, and it's a goal kick to Manchester City. But Sean Dyche just saying, calm down, get back, no worries, we're in the lead, let's protect it. And that's a surprising one. Stefan Jovetic is replacing David Silva. Now David Silva's actually been one of the few Manchester City players who have actually played well. Now that is a bit of a strange one there from Pellegrini in my opinion, but he's paid to make the decisions as Manchester City's manager, which over the years, certainly when they were struggling in the olden days of League One, when they were in that what was then known as the second division, it's amazing. They used to come to Burnley, funnily enough, and win 6 or 7-0 when Stan Turnett was manager. In the third tier of English football, they actually won the playoffs, when really they were, when Gillingham should have won them that year when they were 2 up, but City saved themselves. And in fact, I was a school kid at the time, as we'll just break off for a second as the ball played in there. And the shot over the top from Fernandinho, a goal kick. I remember having a bet with a female school teacher at the time. I was 16 at the time, and Manchester City were playing Gillingham, and I said Gillingham will win the game, and I was literally within seconds of winning my bet. The forfeit was actually a big cream cake in the face, and there I was in the assembly hall having to eat humble pie basically, because we'd lost, because City had won on penalties. So the female teacher won the bet. She was a City fan, and I had to go in front of 300 school kids, get a big pie in my face, and my nice clean uniform was an absolute total wreck by the end of it. But good fun back in those days. But meanwhile, here's Danny Ings intercepting a pass from Yaya Toure. He's got Jones now further forward, but Ings was in two minds, and in the end he was rather wasteful. And it's Sergio Aguero powering over the halfway line towards the Burnley penalty area. Bunny inside the penalty area. Bunny with the left foot stones it straight at Tom Heaton, thankfully from a Burnley viewpoint, and Burnley survive again. But that run there by Sergio Aguero was a dangerous run, and if Wilfried Bony had got better contact with his left foot there, Tom Heaton may have been looking at maybe having to make a miracle save there. But Burnley didn't need him to make one. It was a routine save, but it could have been so much worse there for the Clarets. It's still 1-0. We're inside the last quarter of an hour, plus possibly 4, maybe 5 minutes of added on time at the end of the second half. And it is a throw now, and Trippier will take it. Here comes the throw. Trippier towards Danny Ings, who can't. Sorry, Sam Vokes, who can't keep it in play. And really, this has been a remarkable second half. Burnley on the verge of a fantastic result here. Turfmoor up and on its feet, and really it's been a second half to enjoy. The first half was just as enjoyable, but the second half it's been a lot livelier. There's been plenty of controversy. Has the referee been inconsistent? We've seen a marvellous well-worked set-piece goal hit on the half-volley by George Boyds from a great Trippier free kick, which wasn't dealt with by Vincent Kompany. We've had the lot. There's still another quarter of an hour to just under to play. We've played nearly 76 minutes. In fact, we have played 77 minutes now, actually. Here's Jim McCarellis now. He's giving it away to Danny Ings. You don't want to be doing that. Sam Vokes is through the centre, but in fairness to Jim McCarellis, he recovered his own situation and then inexplicably knocks the ball out of play. And to Burnley fans, that's probably justice, but because he arguably should not be on the pitch, because the second challenge on Trippier was a bookable offence. But yet you get Mike Duff, who is I don't know. But here's Barnes now. Barnes with a shot, and it was straight in the arms of Joe Hart, who didn't have to had to make a couple of steps there to his left hand side, and he was able to catch the ball well. But actually Barnes, who's got, I think he's got about 4 maybe 5 goals this season, scored against Hull and scored against Southampton, and he got the equaliser, I think, against City when the teams met at the Etihad. They were 2-0 down at half time in that game. Boyd pulled it back to 2-1, and then Barnes with a super volley right in the end in the last couple of minutes saved a point there for Burnley, which could, and as things stand, they could be taking 4 points off the Premier League champions, which would be no mean feat, and a good little fillip going into the last quarter of the season. Here comes Manchester City again, breaking. It's Sergio Aguero, a good little dummy and a bunny hop from the referee. Here is Aguero again, back to Toure. Toure now over to the far side, and now they're going to ask questions here now, Manchester City. As Jovetic now, the substitute, cuts in field. Jovetic, that is a poor ball and it's given away. You don't want to be giving it towards people like Danny Ings, people like Sam Vokes. And Ings is now making a break. It's Sam Vokes now trying to play it in towards George Boyd. Maybe he should have tried to play it a little bit longer, maybe for Danny Ings perhaps. But City survive for now. This second half being played at a ferocious pace. It's still going strong as we come towards the last 10 minutes of the second half plus stoppage time. And then we've got Zabaleta on the right hand side to Navas, and now it's been played in field to Sergio Aguero, looking for a ball maybe out on the left hand side, and he's found it there. Jovetic, and Jovetic now will get the cross in. It's charged down by George Boyd, who works really well box to box. And Aguero trying to lay Jovetic in, the former Fiorentina player, and he couldn't do so there, unfortunately. And that is the frustration from Manchester City's point of view. But here's Navas now. Navas cuts in from the right hand side. He goes over, and I think that's another soft decision, but I think the referee's allowing it to go on. Advantage played by Andre Mariner. Just waving signalling play on there. Maybe that's probably a good thing, maybe for Burnley. Here's Sergio Aguero. Burnley with 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players back behind the ball. Here's Zabaleta on the right hand side. City looking for a way through, but there just doesn't seem to be any way through at all. Toure with a cross in there towards the 6-yard box, and Aguero from that range heads over the bar. Tom Heaton did not get a touch. It will be a goal kick, but usually when Aguero gets into them positions, he usually buries these chances. A little chip in there from the right hand side from Yaya Toure. That's probably the best delivery he's put in all match, and that's probably the best moment Yaya Toure has had in the match, because quite frankly up until then, for the first 80 minutes he's been non-existent. In fact, that was his last contribution of the game. And City's final change is for Frank Lampard to come on. Burnley, however, with 81 minutes gone, have still got the same 11 out who started the game, and that's a testament to Sean Dyche's side, whose fitness, let's be fair, have been very, very, very good. They are one of the fittest teams in the Premier League. Here's Tom Heaton with another right footer of a goal kick. Up and over the halfway line it goes, and it's back again. A little bit of head tennis goes on. Vokes in the end kicks the ball down, finds Danny Ings, who's been timeless. Boyd had made a good run down the far side, the right hand side of Burnley there, but it's cut out again, and now it's on the City right with Navas infield to Bonnie back to Aguero, and Aguero again running almost Maradona style at the Burnley defence, and it's Jovetic now. Jovetic having to touch that ball back. Ball there to be won. It's out to Navas on the near side. Navas now takes on the defender here, which is Barnes. Gets the shot in. It's blocked by Barnes, but it's back to Fernandinho. Fernandinho chips it in, and Barnes again volleys it away towards halfway, and it's Vincent Kompany now for Manchester City, just inside the Burnley half. We're inside the last 8 minutes of normal time. And here come Jovetic, but Boyd will not be denied. He'll stop Jovetic, the former Fiorentina player, in his tracks. City had the throw level with the penalty area, and it's Aguero now turning. Aguero now, he's got Zabaleta 3 to the right of him, and to the right of him further is Jesus Navas inside the penalty area, crosses in from the right hand side, and Tom Heaton keeps the ball from going out for a corner. Good sensible goalkeeping there. It was Boyd with the inverted header back, and Tom Heaton did rather well to prevent the corner. That's good goalkeeping, that. 83 minutes of the game gone. There's a lot of hoarse voices inside Turf Moor, but there's still a lot of noise, and the decibels will be 6 times as loud if the whistle goes, and Burnley have won 1-0 by the end of it. Ball back with Tom Heaton again. You may sense he may well still have a big part to play in this second half yet, with still less than 7 minutes or so to go plus stoppage time. Here's Kieran Trippier, long ball forward. That's going to run out of play on the left hand side, and a goal kick it is. Attempts 8 for Burnley, 18 for Manchester City, and on target 3 for Burnley, one of them resulting in a goal for Boyd. 5 for Manchester City, 5 on target out of 18. That's just poor, really, and they haven't scored a goal from it, City. Oh, they've got a debatable decision there again. Barnes is incensed. I don't know what it was for. Was it for a handball or a push? I couldn't really tell from up here, but Andre Mariner's adamant here. It was a Lampard involved. Well, as he leaned in with his arm, well, it certainly ricocheted off his head. I don't understand why the referee's given that. Looks another harsh decision here. I can understand Burnley's frustration here. They are getting the raw end of 1 or 2 of the decisions. It almost boggles the mind. It honestly really does. But it's Frank Lampard about 35 yards out. He can hit him from here. It will be possibly with his right foot. Tom Heaton making sure that The wall is set and he's ready, and he can have it, and he gets a good view. There's 4 in the wall. Lampard right-footed against the wall. Lampard knocks it in with his left foot, and it's out to the right-hand side, and it's Silva now. He'll get a right foot across in there, but Ben Mee blocks it. Good defending by the Burnley left-back. He's had a good match tonight, Ben Mee. In all fairness to him, he's really enjoyed himself out there tonight. As for Manuel Pellegrini, it ain't going to be such a good night. Here's Aguero inside the penalty area. Crossing it back and it's missed by everybody. Still not away. Jovetic now. Right-footed. Wide. Goal kick to Burnley. And Jovetic was never troubling the scorers with that effort. The ball knocked back. And it was hooked wide by Jovetic. It was a poor effort. First change of the second half, and well done to Sam Vokes for lasting 86 minutes of the match. Burnley going to put on an extra defender now to see the game out and to see it home. And he gets a magnificent ovation from 19,000 Clarets who are here tonight. Stephen Ward, the former Wolves left back, takes his place. So an extra bod in the defence. And he's passing on instructions there from Sean Dyche, who could be just 4 minutes for stoppage time away from masterminding one of these biggest victories as Burnley manager. He's had a few big victories in his time, but this would top the lot. It would top the promotion. It would top some of the wins they needed to get in the promotion season 12 months ago. The Blackburn victory, the Blackpool victory, the Blackpool victory, the game against Wigan when they needed to win and got the win that got them into the Premier League with 2 games to spare. It would eclipse all this now if they could beat this Manchester City team costing over £200 million. In fact, £300 million I think is the buzzword. Here is Navas now for Manchester City. And this Burnley team have cost peanuts compared to what City spend even on wages. I mean, Burnley's wage bill is probably about 4 times that of Manchester City's. And that's it's just the tip of the iceberg, as the ball in from Fernandinho is well cut out. But it comes to Navas here. Throw level with the penalty area. No, just as 2 minutes 20 of normal time still to go, and it's Zabaleta now to Fernandinho. Zabaleta is still waiting for it on the right hand side, but he has to go back to company. There's 10 men, 11 men in fact if you include Tom Heaton behind that goal, behind that ball now. Ings has come back and tried to defend. Barnes is there too. Burnley now with extra defensive bodies on guard now. Have City run out of steam? Could this be a crucial moment in the title race? Could it be a crucial moment impacting Burnley's season in their quest to stay in the Premier League? That's a poor ball by Fernandinho. It was hit with too much venom for Jesus Navas. Pellegrini strides away to the dugout. They've had 75% possession, Manchester City, but have done absolutely nothing with it. Burnley have had 25% of possession, and maybe those Manchester City fans you've seen there, I'm seeing there, are entitled to think, if we can't even beat the Clarets, what are we going to beat Barcelona in the new camp on Wednesday? Well, who knows indeed. But there's still 2 minutes, there's still a minute of normal time to go, plus any stoppage time. We'll be looking at fourth official Kevin Friend of Leicestershire. That's surely going to be a foul by Renfrew Bonney inside the centre circle on Danny Ings, and quite rightly a 3 kick, and maybe possibly you could argue that's a booking. He's absolutely thrown him to the ground. You could argue that's a bookable offence as well, but Mariner, as usual, lets the City player get off scot-free. Free kick now to the Clarets, and they've just got to keep possession now. 30 seconds of normal time to go, and it's with Stephen Ward now, the substitute. He probably needs to get back because that ball is going to come back towards the Burnley half as lightning quick now, as Frankie Lampard has it, and Lampard played a risky ball across the halfway line, but he got away with it. Jovetic on the left-hand channel now for Manchester City. Has to play towards the centre circle on Vincent Kompany. And Kompany, who's got about 10 yards between him and the next Burnley player there. And it's back with Zabaleta from Navas. Back to Zabaleta. 4 added minutes at the end of the second half. We're now into the first of those 4 added on minutes. I should also stress it's a minimum of 4 minutes. So if at the end of 4 minutes the referee decides to add on more time, he's perfectly entitled to do so. As Zabaleta goes through inside the penalty area. Was he brought down by Ben Mead? No, he wasn't. In fact, it's a free kick. And that could be the biggest decision of the lot from Mr. Mariner at Birmingham. He's given a free kick to Burnley because in his mind, Zabaleta has simulated to try and get a penalty. Let's have a look at it from the reverse angle. I've seen a replay. Ben Mee, oh, he gets none of the ball, but does he get a man? If he touches the man, then he could have been in trouble here. Hard to say really whether that's a penalty. Certainly got none of the ball, that's got to be said. But I think Zabaleta was going down a little too easy. That's what's probably saved Ben Mee. But City may have half a case of a penalty. Pellegrini, I think, is probably accepting it's not going to be his night. Not just this season in the title race. Ryan Kidd there sat a little bit further alongside him there. A legend at Manchester City and Manchester United, of course. He famously scored as the shot comes in from about 35 yards from Danny Ings. It's curled well wide. It's gone almost near the corner flag then to go. Final second change for Burnley. Stephen Reid, the former West Brom and man who started his career, of course, at Millwall. He's going to come on. And Danny Ings now, another second one of the strikers being sacrificed. So surely Ashley Barnes will be the lone striker up top. Although it will be now all hands on deck defensively now for the 2 and a bit minutes of stoppage time that remains. We're halfway through the additional, and I should stress, a minimum of 4 minutes added time at the end. And a goal kick from Hart, flicked on again. Can City save themselves? Bonnie now to Aguero, 25 yards out. Aguero, right foot, charged down. It falls for Bonnie. Was there hands there? Indeed there was. Referee thought about it for a second and has given handball against Wilfried Bonnie. And City, as well, he's clearly used his arm. And Bonnie trying to urging Burnley to get on with the free kick rather quickly. This was the opportunity again. I think Zabaleta may have gone down a little easily, but Ben Mee, I suppose, has got away with one, and we could gripe on about the earlier decisions. But in the end, maybe the biggest decision at all has gone Burnley's way, and maybe the referee has just done Burnley a favour after all those bad decisions. They're going to get a free kick now, the Claret. A clear barge by Jim McKellis, who, let's be fair, has had more lives than a cat tonight, and arguably should have been sent off long before now. We're into the last minute of added on time. It's going to be an absolute party tonight in Burnley, because this has really kept their season very much alive now, and it will give Sean Dyche and his troops a whole new breed of confidence going into some very, very tough fixtures, certainly coming up against the likes of Southampton, Tottenham, Arsenal, and then the big clashes against the likes of Leicester, to name but just one. West Ham, Everton. They've still got a tough old fixture list still to play, especially away from home, but Burnley now are going to take a big step. We have played the additional 4 minutes. Sean Dyche wants the final whistle. We're now into added time in added time. We've played 15 seconds over the 4 minutes. Referee Mariner at Birmingham he's still not looked at his watch yet. The ball, long ball forward. He's not looked at his watch at all yet. But here's Arfield, knocks it in now, and showing that must be it now. An almighty roar has gone up a turf ball because the final whistle has gone. Burnley have done it and have deserved to do so. They have beaten Manchester City by a goal to nil. Sean Dyche with a handshake for Manuel Pellegrini consoling the Manchester City manager. But really, Manchester City were poor on the night. Yes, they had a lot of possession. Yes, they probably created one or two of the better chances. But they did not breach Tom Heaton and the Burnley defence, who were stubborn as they came. And the winning goal was something very, very special. It came after 60 minutes. It came from the left foot of George Boyd, who's walking off the field there. It came from a Trippier free kick from the right-hand side. He was nodded poorly, half-heartedly by Company towards the edge of the D, and with his left foot found the bottom right-hand corner, giving Joe Hart absolutely no chance. The turf is shaking to all its foundations, and what a superb night for Burnley Football Club. Turf Moor has seen some great nights in the past, but this showing has to beat the lot. Great moments are made of this. Pellegrini walks off disconsolate, but Burnley are jubilant. And really, Burnley will milk this for all it's worth, and why not? So, as we leave you here from Turf Moor, we leave you with a final score. Burnley 1, Manchester City 0. What a night for the Clarets. I hope very much you've enjoyed the commentary of tonight's Premier League encounter. And the Clarets thoroughly deserve their 3 points for their hard work, their fitness levels and their work rate, and what a volley in which to win it. Fantastic result there, and what it means to the league table before we leave you, that City are now 5 points behind Chelsea. They still remain in second, but Chelsea have 2 games in hand now, and surely must stride away with the league title here from this moment on. Because Manchester City's opportunity is edging away. Arsenal and Manchester United in fact complete the top 4. Liverpool 2 points behind in big possession with Spurs further back. Now this win for Burnley doesn't get them out of the relegation zone, but what it does do is lifts them above QPR and within 1 point of Sunderland and within 3 of Aston Villa and Hull. So it's all to play for now at the business end of the season for the Clarets. As we leave you at Turf Moor, Burnley have won it, and have won it by a goal to 0 thanks to George Boyd. Thank you very much for listening to the commentary of this game tonight. Join us for another game very soon. From all of us here at Turf Moor, good night.